What's the mystery behind the Ender Dragon, the story of the Ender Dragon? Alright, let's find out everything about the origin of the Ender Dragon.
There's a monster waiting for us all in the end. A terrifying sky beast that defies description. But if I don't describe it, I don't get paid. So let's give it a go. It's a purple-eyed, fire-breathing...
It's a dragon.
Well, yes, that's a simpler way of putting it. But the actions of the creature are truly epic.
It growls, it flies.
Oh, okay, great, yeah. We'll just call the episode The Story of How We Made the Growly Fly, shall we? What are the origins of this dragon? Obviously, it's not based on a real animal, because, as we all know, all the real-world dragons went extinct in the late 90s. So what are its defining characteristics?
I would say...
You know, it's like funny. I have to quickly mention this. So there's like a lot of very weird stuff on the internet, right? Like you find images of skeletons that apparently belonged to aliens that humans have apparently discovered. Then you find... apparently skeletons of mermaids, and you know it's like funny, I actually came across an image where someone claimed they found the skeleton of a dragon and that dragons were real and existed. You can look this up, go on Google pictures and type in dragon skeleton discovered or something, you will find such image. It's actually funny. Or mermaid skeleton.
In the late 90s. So what are its defining characteristics?
I would say aggressive, lonely, but eternal.
A big mob, like it's nothing you've seen before in Minecraft.
And also one of the most detailed mobs. It has like 20 segments in its tail and like stuff on top of that.
And as for its sounds...
That's a unique
Growl,
look, yeah.
wing flap, and growl again.
I love
Hey,
the
you'd sound
sounds.
pretty angry too if you had to live in a vast empty dimension with no one but Endermen for company. No offense to our millions of Endermen viewers, but you lot are boring.
Well, actually,
Wow,
the
that's
Ender
a-
Dragon and Enderman, they are fighting each other. They don't like each other.
Wait, what?
It's a mystery.
Solve the mystery! Tell us why!
I know the secret on why there's so many Endermen in the end, but I'm not gonna tell you.
You're bluffing. Well, it could be because the Ender Dragon is guarding something.
Is it guarding something? I think that's a question.
You lot do understand the point of this show is to give us exclusive facts about the mobs, right?
Wasn't it like that with the Enderman, that there was like a theory I heard by the game theorists that maybe the Endermen were actually humans, just like the characters Steve, right, and Alex, and they were like the ancient civilization of Minecraft, and they got somehow corrupted by the Ender Dragon or by the End itself, and then they turned into those beings, and that's why they are using also our language and are saying stuff like, "Hey, what's up? Look for the eye." Like if you listen closely to their sounds, they're saying actually, "Hey, what's up? Look for the eye." And because of this, and they can actually speak English, like there's some reason to assume that they were actually humans before, right? And they were like changed somehow. So there's some myths and some claims that maybe they are the ancient people.
It's about the mobs, right? Oh, very well. Let's go back to where it all began.
It would
The
make
year
sense,
was
right?
2011. Minecraft had just turned 2. And like all proud parents, we were starting to get bored of its company. So we introduced an update that changed everything.
Before the adventure update and after the adventure update, the game had changed a lot. We had taken a step towards giving a little bit more of an RPG feeling.
Such as potions, enchantments. Oh, and a new dimension in the making that contained the first ever boss mob in Minecraft.
During that time, Marcus, or Notch, was experimenting with a new world generator style that was kind of like a sky island. And then together with all the adventure style features, Marcus really wanted to make a dragon.
This new Sky Island, now known as The End, was planned to be very different from the overworld. This dimension wouldn't even have a sun. Therefore, The End would have no concept of time.
Sort of.
Yo, that would actually be a very fun dimension. Maybe you can get this with mods, but I think it would be cool if there was a dimension called the Sky Dimension, and this is above the clouds. So what is if there's like a way to actually access the Sky Dimension, right? Like, what if there's like an invisible wall right under the clouds or on the clouds layer and you can't get beyond it, but there's a trick to get beyond it, and that is through a portal or something, right? Wow, imagine this. And that would make it difficult to get there because you can't get there regularly because there's an invisible wall, but beyond that invisible wall there's actually a sky dimension, right? But they would have to actually make the seats a bit higher, right? Like they would need to increase this, right? Because we have some really high mountains as well. And what you don't want in the game is to have like your mountains and then you only go up by 40 blocks and you're in like the sky dimension, right? But I think there should be a sky biome, and maybe this should have like unique plants or something. Like if Mojang is thinking ever about adding another dimension, yeah? We have the Nether, we have the End, and we have maybe in the future something really like Sky Dimension. That would be so cool. And maybe you can get there some unique flowers. Maybe it has like unique trees. And the trees, they have like some unique texture when you make doors, trap doors. Maybe it's something between oak and spruce in color or something. Like, it would be nice to actually have that. Something very unique there. Or maybe some really actually white wood or something. Like wood even brighter than birch.
The End was planned to be very different from the overworld. This dimension wouldn't even have a sun. Therefore, the End would have no concept of time.
Wow.
Sort of nothingness or empty space, like a void or something like that.
Yeah, like the
No.
void, yeah.
No, my head is empty.
Just like the End. By the way, what inspired that name?
It plays on Enderman and Ender Dragon, but it also symbolized like the end of the game.
So you could say that the End has become the Ender Dragon's world.
So it kind of became like the Enderman's world.
Or you could say that. Thanks.
The Enderman was added slightly based on a meme at that time was called the Slenderman, and it became the Enderman in
Slenderman,
Minecraft.
yeah.
And then to pair it up with the Enderman, the dragon would also become the Ender Dragon.
Oh, I see. So, to summarize, the look of the Enderman
Comes from the
inspired the
Slenderman.
End, and that inspired the design of the Ender Dragon.
Yeah, that's right.
I haven't thought
chain
about it
reaction.
earlier, but
While the development team, seen here in this archive footage, worked on the design of the Ender Dragon, Jens focused on tying the mechanics of the End Dimension, End Portal, Ender Man, and Ender Dragon
So
together
many formulas.
There was like a thread you could follow from start to the end, literally, with a boss fight and then actually defeat or win the game.
Finally, Minecraft had an end goal, one that was essential to the Minecraft experience.
Reaching the dragon and defeating it is not like a requirement for playing Minecraft.
Oh.
It's something you choose to do.
Very much is an aspirational feature.
it is a nice sort of book ending of a adventure, but then you can start a new adventure and it can be about something completely else.
Oh, that's nice. Now,
Yeah, I mean, if you kill the Ender Dragon, if you have done this before, and I think most players have done it, like, you can still return to your old builds and continue your daily life in Minecraft. It's not like the game is actually over. Like, that's the thing. Like, Minecraft is a never-ending game, you could say, right? Like, even if you look at the size of, like, the seeds, like, if you start, like, a new world, you could literally, in your world, play forever without ever creating a new world. Like, why I actually make new worlds is usually if like a big update comes out and there's like new blocks and new wood, new this and that. Like, I try to explore this from scratch and not have to travel like crazy long distances from my old builds and just totally abandon them and then go to like a new place. For example, what if there's like a new update, but like 2-3 updates ago, I maybe built a castle somewhere, a really interesting build. So if it's on a separate world, I don't have to travel far from my old build. So I just log into my old world that I played on 3 years ago, and I look at like my old builds, for example, and I build something similar, but maybe out of new wood or new blocks or some new variety. Like a copy-paste sort of build, but with new stuff from like an old world, for example, right? So I like to have access to all my old projects so I can upgrade them when like a new update comes out and maybe use the new blocks for this, right? So let's say I had a castle out of stone bricks and now we have deep slate. Now I want to make a black castle or like a dark gray castle out of the deep slate, right? So I go back to my old world and I have a look at, oh, how did I build this castle? Let me actually recreate this one, but this time we're using deep slate only. So yeah, that's why I make new worlds with like big updates usually, to still have access to my old information, what I did there. But yeah, not have to bother traveling long distances and stuff.
here's a shocking revelation for you. Making a mob in Minecraft is tricky, especially a boss mob. And the first
Oh,
designs
yeah, I
and
can
gameplay
imagine that.
mechanics were, well,
No, was it in the game?
It's just a sketch,
Although
but you're
dragons
meant
would
to
be
be the
cool, though.
expert here.
I think they came to a really great conclusion by making it like Enderman black and purple and stuff, because it gave birth to like this really cool universe.
But there were never any problems with the final
Ender
Ender
mites
Dragon
too.
battle. That was perfect from day one and admirably complex.
It was very simple.
Oh.
The dragon was just flying around and you had to shoot arrows at it. It was not very dynamic.
So making the fight with the Ender Dragon more interesting became the developers' #1 priority. Luckily, we had lots of ideas. Even more luckily, we also had some good ideas.
The end crystals that heal the dragon.
That's a joke. That's a total joke, right? Tell player that if they don't defeat the dragon fast enough, we're deleting all their saves forever. We anticipate no negative feedback to this idea. If anything, we're worried it will be too popular. Yo, that's like you have like a hardcore mode to that or what?
Crystals that heal the dragon also became harder to remove because some of them are encased in these iron cages, and also the dragon would
You have to get up and
sometimes
break
swoop
this.
down and land on the empty end portal to make you change your behavior a little bit.
Essentially, the dragon could now charge at you, throw fireballs, and use its dragon breath.
Yeah,
Most
and
of
the
these
fire
design
actually
choices,
stays
textures,
alive.
and sounds are from the 2011 Adventure Update.
My favorite sound for the Ender Dragon is when you defeat it and you get the that
Oh, yeah,
kind of
like
crackle
fireworks.
and the screen sort of distorts and you see all these cool effects.
I really enjoyed the poem. Minecraft creates a lot of precious memories, and that's
Yeah.
one strong memory for me, definitely.
Beautifully put. Now we had a dragon with a name, a color scheme, sounds, soundtrack, and even its own dimension full of creepy weirdos. Did I say creepy weirdos? I meant handsome weirdos. Only when we were perfectly happy with the Ender Dragon were we willing to release it into the Minecraft wilds. We didn't just put it in the game
The
because...
deadline arrived.
Anyways, there you have it.
Okay. I mean, of course, there's like always a deadline for something when it comes to game development. I mean, which other game can I think of right now? Oh yes, Skyrim. So in Skyrim, if you actually join a faction, be it the Stormcloaks or the Imperials, back in the day, you actually would have also siege weapons like a catapult or something, or ballista or something, right? And you were actually able to, in the original design, to attack the cities you are conquering for your faction. So if you were like in the Stormcloaks and you're conquering an Imperial city, you could use siege weapons to actually attack. But then they actually said, oh, there's a deadline. So they realized, oh, we don't have time to actually implement this into the game, so they skipped it. So yeah, I can imagine that maybe there were like more ideas for the Ender Dragon. Maybe there was like an additional boss they even planned after the Ender Dragon potentially, but there was like no time because there was a deadline that was arriving. So it makes sense. I mean, you can't use your resources for eternity and not release something because you also need to monetize from that, right? So it makes sense because they need the money. So you have like, let's say a half year to do something, and if you have like an idea that takes a year, you have to cut half of it. Yeah. But yeah, about the Enderman and the Ender Dragon, what actually corrupted them? Yeah, there are like multiple theories right there. Some say the end itself, the dimension, changed the Ender Dragon over time, right? And was maybe a normal dragon that got trapped there, maybe the last of the dragons that existed. Maybe they were actually normal dragons. So there's actually something fascinating that, maybe that's like my theory right now, right? But you are aware that there are fossils, and you find this, for example, if you go into caves in like swamp biomes in Minecraft, there are fossils, and you have those large bones. And there are some sources claiming that those bones could come from maybe dragons. Some say, oh, it's dinosaur bones, right? But others say those fossils you find, or the ones you find also in, for example, the Nether, right, in the Sand Valley, right, like the bones, that they're actually from dragons, right? And dragons went extinct except the Ender Dragon, that is the last dragon. And the Ender Dragon was a normal dragon, but the End actually changed it. And there are theories that maybe the End also changed the Enderman, and they were like normal humans, people that just happened to go to the End. And then they lived there, but over time they actually changed into the Enderman. They basically mutated from staying too long in this dimension. Then there are those theories that the Ender Dragon somehow corrupted people, and then they turned into Enderman. There are so many theories out there, but yeah, Mojang has never officially confirmed any of those. Those are just fan theories about this. And my theory is this as well, that maybe the End itself corrupted the Ender Dragon, it was a normal dragon, and that the fossils we find in the overworld are ancient dragon bones, for example. It's a fantasy I have, maybe that's how it is, but yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, what you think about the fossils we find in the overworld. Are those dragon bones? Are you also thinking that just like I'm thinking? Do you think those are dinosaur bones? Maybe they are just random bones of either, both dinosaur or dragon. And yet, do you also believe that the End corrupted the Endermen? They were like maybe an ancient civilization, and the Ender Dragon wasn't always the Ender Dragon, but just a dragon? Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And if you guys are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more content. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give this one a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time.